This book is a culmination of everything he has discovered over the last 10 years during his focus on stand-up, and while largely theoretical, it's extremely practical. And of course, there's magic routines taught as well. But as we look at this book, you'll see that there's more to magic than just tricks. So this book is broken up into 3 parts, and upon reading through it, you'll realize that it's like a sandwich with a very tasty filling in between 2 high quality pieces of bread. Part 1. Close up to stand up. Jon Armstrong is most known for his tiny plunger routine, which has also been performed on Penn & Teller's Fool Us and also turned into a Tenyo product. This fact is poked fun at in his foreword when you consider the man once known for his close-up is now an expert in stand-up magic. But in the first part of the book, a foundation is laid out of what stand-up magic is, how to go from close-up to stand-up with your existing routines, and other concepts that we'll touch on briefly here. If you haven't tried stand-up magic before, this section is gold. You'll have a framework to work with, and you'll also be introduced to what is required for stand-up, from the importance of scripting and blocking to considerations of how to interact with your audience and the effects you choose to include in your show. Concepts like in one are detailed here, and the real secret of winning is given, which I don't think he'll mind if I give it away because everyone should be doing it anyway, which is record every show and review it so that you improve for the next show. I particularly enjoyed his essays on things to avoid and how to make the magic you buy your own, because there's lots to learn from other people's mistakes, and we should always strive to make things our own and not be carbon copies of other magicians. My favorite sentence, which would help magicians and others understand the difference between close-up and stand-up, is close-up is conversational while stand-up is presentational. Once you understand that idea, it'll be easier to approach and structure your stand-up magic. Part 2 is 5 techniques to apply to your audience. When I first read this section, it felt like my mind was opened up and a dump truck of secrets was poured into my brain. A magic show is only good if the audience that you perform for enjoys it. Otherwise, you'd be better off performing for a camera hoping for likes and follows, like I am doing. So like this if you're enjoying it. Ha! Ironic! In this section, Jon shares 5 techniques he uses with his crowds, often multiple at the same time, to win with his shows. The techniques are unite, engage, respect, impress, and train. While reading the title makes sense when you think about it, it's the details that Jon provides as he does a deep dive into each technique that help you level up your stand-up shows. The first technique about uniting your audience as one is not something I'd ever thought of previously. You take this for granted coming from a close-up background where your small group that you perform for is automatically united already since they're friends, family, or just part of the same table. But with a large audience consisting of people from all walks of life, you need to make sure that they're one cohesive crowd so that they can better enjoy your show. Jon goes into the details of what you first say to get a united audience to other techniques sprinkled throughout your show. Each technique is different, but are all needed and is a section you'll come back to over and over again as you revise your own stand-up show. Part 3 is the routines. The final part is routines straight out of Jon's professional repertoire and for you to learn and perform. Although if you have been reading these books from start, you'll know not to perform his routines verbatim, but make those changes to make them you. The routines are paper ball. This is one of Jon's closes and is a great routine using cards, the invisible deck, and predictions to tie everything together. It uses 3 participants, which allows the routine to play big, especially when using something small as cards on stage. Uno Voodoo is a fun cards across effect using Uno cards, focusing on the color of the cards themselves rather than their values, with a very visual and comedic way to show the cards going across. This is something that I've added to my own shows because it's just so clever. Thought of card to wallet. This was one of Jon's signature close-up effects taught on his 3 DVD set back in his L&L publishing days, but here we see it evolve and re-routine for a stand-up setting. If you've seen the close-up version, it's a great exercise in seeing the little changes made in how he took it and made it a strong stand-up effect. The cup and ball and shot glass trick. If the name wasn't descriptive enough already, this effect follows the structure of the egg and silk routine, where you seemingly give the audience a look behind the curtain before hitting them in the head magically one last time. The only hurdle is finding the complicated prop necessary to show how the effect supposedly works. But if you find it, you've got a cool effect on your hands. As for the rest, this is a short book, coming at 103 pages, which I thought was very little, but I was quickly proved wrong since each essay was very thought-provoking and also extremely inspiring, especially page 61. If you're new to stand-up magic, you'll be poring over this book many times, and if you're a seasoned professional, I'm sure you'll find the second part about audience techniques illuminating, even if you've done those techniques before, perhaps unconsciously. You can get this book from his website or any other magic retailer, and if you're looking for a strong opener to add to your stand-up shows, check out a review of this and have a magical day.